Hello and welcome to Nolan Financial Radio. My name is Chris McKinney from Nolan Financial Partners. If you'd like more information about you here during our show today, give us a call at 719-210-4242 or visit us online at nolanfinancialpartners.com. And while at our website, click on the radio page, check out our past shows, and subscribe to our program on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music. It's no secret that life has gotten more expensive. Wherever you turn, there's health insurance, groceries, housing. The prices seem to be just getting higher and higher. So it's really no surprise that many Americans don't have a lot of money in emergency savings. So whether you're starting from zero or just trying to add to what's already there, building an emergency fund can feel like an uphill battle. But today we're going to talk about why it matters, how using a simple framework can make the process much more manageable. It's called the 1-3-6 rule. I read an article on Kiplinger and it kind of details that out. So we'll talk about that. It's very straightforward. It's a way that you can prepare for the life's uh-oh moments without derailing your long-term financial goals, which is very important to me as your financial planner. Before we dive in, let me welcome my co-host, a guy who says his idea of an emergency fund is keeping enough cash for pizza delivery and new batteries for his remote as winter is coming. My co-host, Tony Shore.
Are you saying that's not what an emergency fund is for? Pizza? Pizza deliveries, pizza buffets. But instead of batteries, I think that would have been accurate if you would have said, I think my emergency fund is for pizza and records, albums.
Pizza and record
vinyl. Yeah, some new vinyl.
So some vinyl comes around.
Yeah.
I got to have money to get it.
New release. Yeah. It's new. In fact, we're recording this on New Release Friday. So I'll be hitting the record store after work today. There's some good ones.
Is it like the first Friday every month or something?
It's every Friday.
Every Friday. Wow.
Yeah. Used to be Tuesdays, but new release Fridays. So record stores get the new releases on Fridays. So,
that's good.
Every Friday. And you can look up what the new releases for the week are online.
Right.
The various sources for that. But at any rate, great to be here. But emergency funds are important, and they're not for pizza, I guess. I've been reprimanded by Chris. He told me, Tony, you need an emergency fund. And that
you can have a pizza fund, but you still need an emergency fund.
Yeah, but that's got to be separate. That's the first main point. Emergency fund 101.
If your pizza fund is bigger than your emergency fund, there may be a problem.
Yeah, and on a more serious note, I think a lot of people think, okay, I want to save up, or I want to buy a car, or I want to make sure I can eat out at a really nice restaurant once a month, or I want a fund to spend on a hobby, whether it's collecting record albums like I do and music, or whatever your hobby is, right? Maybe it's downhill skiing. So people think, this fund, I can use that to buy a new car. That's no, you have separate funds for those things. I think that's the biggest mistake people make with emergency funds is they use them as a traditional savings. It's not a savings account, is it?
No, it's not. It's not really a savings account, and it may be in a savings account. It may be in a different type of account.
Sure. At your bank, it might be technically in a savings account, but you need to have separate savings for those other things. This is for if I get laid off from my job, how am I going to pay my bills money?
That's right. How if the government shuts down and stops paying me, do I have enough money for the next 2 months?
Or if I'm in retirement. And if I'm retired and the market, we have a recession, or the market either crashes or has a correction, which happens from time to time.
Sure.
If the market goes down 20%, you don't want to pull money to pay your bills out of the market when it's 20% down.
Nope.
That's really going to derail your retirement income plans fast. So where's that money going to come from? That's where the emergency fund comes in, right?
That's right. It's to keep you going. I have a client, her name is Martha. She has an emergency fund, And the way we described it when we first talked to her is it's a little bit different than the 136 rule. We said, okay, how much money makes it so that can you have in your savings account so that you can sleep every night, right? What makes you
Right.
comfortable? And so we came up with a number. And so, okay, that's okay. 20,000 is your number. And then, but so if your emergency fund gets to be over $30,000, what are you going to, is it okay if we take that money and move it toward investments?
Sure.
Like, yeah, okay. And so, every couple of years, every 3 or 4 years, we would, outside of, I'd meet with her at regular times. So she wouldn't always tell me how much was in there, but it seems like every 3 or 4 years, she'd finally say, yeah, I got $50,000 in my emergency fund. I'm like, okay. So move some of that into somewhere where it's money than sitting in a typical savings account bank that's not even a high yield savings.
Right.
And,
so that's the other tip. That's the second big tip, what you just said, right?
Yeah.
So if you build up that emergency fund like you should, and a lot of people recommend 6 months of expenses, bills, and things like that saved up, 6 months worth of expenses saved up. You don't want that big of an amount, like $50,000, to sit in an account that's making you little or no interest.
So it makes little or no interest. And the other thing is it's taxed. What interest it makes is taxed.
Oof, yeah. So there are ways to keep it liquid,
taxed,
but still make money on some of that, right? Or at least keep some of that liquid. You keep some liquid and maybe have some of your emergency fund where it's a little, a few months out and you can make more money. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got it right the first time.
Good.
So let's talk about this 136 rule.
Okay.
That Kiplinger talked about, because I think it's a really good approach, and I like to use other people's ideas about approaches so that I can reach more people with understanding. Right? I mean, we're educators here, so at Nolan Financial Partners. So the first thing is start thinking about just 1 month. Okay, what are your expenses in 1 month? Okay, maybe I can create an emergency fund that covers my 1 month's worth of expenses. Let's do that. Now, the reason for this is you want to make sure that you have money for unplanned costs like out-of-pocket medical bill, car repair, temporary income replacement. It's designed to keep you out of relying on high interest debt, right?
Yeah.
So when life throws stuff your way, you want to be able to flow with it and not let your finances turn your world upside down. You want to be active with your finances and manage them so that you don't have, credit cards can be 29% right now. Or some people dip into their 401ks, which if you're dipping into your 401k in a year like this, where the market's been up over the last 6 months, that's not a good plan. Right? Because you're moving up, you're losing out on that interest or the equity improvement on your 401k.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we have some kind of funds around so we're not doing things that hurt our future selves.
Yeah. Well, you're right. And so that 136 method you referred to, basically that's to get started, because people hear
get started.
Yeah, I need 6 months of expenses saved up. There's no way that's going to happen. People hear that and they think, no way, I'm not anywhere close, and I don't think I can get there. But that's why you start. Okay, save up 1 month.
Start with 1 month,
and then work on that for a while. Is what
work on that for a while, and make it a robust 1 month, right?
Right.
So when you look at your expenses. Here's the best way I tell people to figure out what their real expenses are, is to look at what they have spent in the last 2 months on their credit cards and out of their bank accounts. Look at it, see what your spending plan has been, and that will help you inform your future. And it doesn't matter. Don't take out things that you feel like were out of cycle, like you had to travel for a wedding or you had to do this or that, or you went on vacation. Because guess what? We want to go on vacations. So make that part of it, and then kind of average those 2 months out, and then that's the amount of money that you're going to spend every month. And so because if you're going to travel, you want to save up for that travel. So that needs to be part of everything, right? So
right.
if you're going to have these things happening, you've got big families, you're going to go to weddings and graduations and things like this. These things are going to happen. So we want that to be part of our spending plan. So make sure you just keep that stuff in there so that your emergency fund reflects what you're actually spending.
Yeah. I
So
think
really
that's
important.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, that's huge. It is. You're right. It's very important. So, now, Emergency Fund 101,
Right.
the purpose is emergency funds can play a huge role in a broader financial strategy and can really save you in bad situations. And so, that first milestone, 1 month of living expenses, you have to figure out what that amount is for you.
That is step one.
Yeah, and that's what you can help people with, right?
Right.
Right. And so what else do we need to know?
So the next thing you want to do is start creating regular additions to it. So it becomes part of your spending plan for the future, that you're going to add money to the emergency fund. So you get your paycheck, $100 goes in the emergency fund, $200, $500, whatever it is that's right for you. And then see how that goes for you. And then if pretty soon, after a few months, that'll be easy because it's not part of your spending plan anymore. It's part of your saving plan. And then maybe you can add to it. So it starts with creating an automatic movement of the money from your checking into another account that is your emergency fund that you don't touch.
Yeah. Well, and I think that makes sense. And I think our listeners out there might need guidance in helping them figure out, okay, how do I build this up and still save money in my retirement accounts? You don't want to sacrifice that, do you?
No, you don't. So, I mean, the guidance for how much money should you be saving for your retirement is 15%. Now, a lot of people can't really, again, it goes back to, I have been doing that. I can't go to 15% today. Right. Okay. Well, let's start with maybe 5%.
Yeah.
So we start with something that makes sense for everybody. And then as we go through time, you get raises, you get better jobs, good things that were going to happen to you, and you'll have more money, and then you'll raise it to 10%. And then the good things will happen to you some more, and then you can raise it to 15%. So that's kind of what I've seen with people is once they start with something, that 1 month of emergency fund or that 5% into a retirement fund, then it's easier to make the next step to get to even a better place.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so how can our listeners get a hold of you to do that, Chris?
Oh, they should give us a call at 719-210-4242. We've set up aside complimentary consultations. We do them on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So give us a call. We'll get those set up. If you want to check us out, go out to our website, nolanfinancialpartners.com. But be sure to call us to set up that appointment, 719-210-4242.
Yeah. I think that's great. And, this information we're talking about, I think beyond finances, emergency funds really help give you a peace of mind knowing that you have that help to stay on track. And that way it allows you in other areas to stay on track for the bigger financial goals, knowing, okay,
that's right.
If something happens, I do have this and I can pay my bills next month, right?
Right. I'm not going to get kicked out of my house, and they're not going
Right.
to come take the utility meter off my electric pole. And
Yeah. So is there, when people are trying to build up an emergency fund, is there a set goal or a strict deadline? Like, okay, I need to have 1 month of emergency funds saved by this date. I know it's good to have goals, save up 1 month's worth, but is there a deadline? Can you take your time? How does that work?
I think you need to be aggressive in trying to get that 1 month set up.
Yeah.
And so the thing that I would say is try to get 1 month set up in the first 3 months.
Sure. So give yourself within 3 months, have the first month saved. Yeah, that sounds good. That makes sense.
So and if you don't make that goal, don't beat yourself up about it. Okay, we didn't make it. Let's make it 4 months, and then we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself. This is
Don't hurt yourself.
But we want to have a practical method to create a sustainable habit so you can reach a goal that is not overwhelming. That's what we're trying to do here. So
exactly.
So say let's do $200 a month over 6 months would be $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need more than $1,200, then maybe you need to make it $400.
Sure.
So your expenses and your income, if your income isn't meeting your expenses, then you need to make more money.
Yeah.
So that's really a problem. So, or you need to spend less money. So there's you've got to live within your means here. So that's kind of a key thing for life.
Yeah. Separate out the wants from the needs, right?
Right. And so, if you're stopping at Starbucks every morning and getting that oat milk espresso shaken, not stirred on ice with a Danish every morning, then maybe think about brewing that at home.
Can't do that. That's weird how you knew my exact order.
Yeah.
And also surprisingly ties into why we couldn't do a show last week. That's interesting.
That's right.
How you worked that into the show, Chris. Very proud of you right now. Very proud. We're not going to go into the details.
No.
We are not talking details about what happened last Friday. But you're right. I mean, that is my order. I like getting that once in a while. But if I did that every day, that would be ridiculous. I can do it once a week, and
it's like a $10 $10 order.
Yeah,
you do that every day. Say there's 20 work days in a month.
Yeah,
that's
$2,000. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real money to you and I, or at least a couple hundred. A lot of money. So, yeah, I was told there would be no math on the show. This is a financial show, but you're supposed to do all the math, Chris.
So
that's the issue. But you're right, and use some of that money to go toward the emergency fund. And maybe that first month can be bare bones, like this is what I need to pay my bills, not what I need to eat out fancy dinners and eat at Starbucks every day, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's the spending plan is a very important part of creating an emergency savings fund, because if you don't know where your money's going, then how can you save anything? Yeah. So you really got to get a handle on where your money's going, so that you can make sure it's going in the right direction.
So once you hit that first month of expenses, you figure out what that would be, you hit it. Well, what's the next move? Maybe make sure obviously you have a dedicated bank account or place to put that money where it can earn some interest, and it's just for your emergency fund, right? Nothing else goes into that fund. Some people say, well, my emergency fund is in with my savings. No,
don't do that.
Keep it separated. Got to keep it separated. Yeah.
The bank will let you open all the savings accounts you want, and they won't charge you for those usually, right?
Right.
Oh, you want to put savings in? Yay! Yeah. They will bring it all. They only charge for checking accounts, because checking accounts is work for them.
Yeah.
Savings accounts are not work for them.
Right.
So,
which is why you can make a little interest on savings accounts, but typically not at all on very little. Sometimes you can. And once you get 6 months worth of expenses in one, Maybe they offer a little better deal, but that's because they know you could take some of it and
There's
or
still
all of it
something there.
and make money elsewhere, make better interest. So you got to look at all those things, and that's something you help your clients do too, isn't it?
Yeah, and we'll help people find, a bank. So there are some local banks that have some high yield savings accounts.
Yep.
There are some national banks that do that, and so I have clients that use the national ones, and some want to use a local one that they can go, walk into. So there are some decent rates locally, not as good as some of the national programs, but
Sure.
but there's stuff out there where you can make, three and a half still.
Wow.
In some high yield savings.
That's nice.
So yeah.
That's really good. So what else did you want to talk about regarding emergency funds, Chris?
So we talked a little bit about how to start creating that emergency fund. We're getting some momentum going. We've got that 1 month in there. Don't be discouraged if it takes a while. Keep putting the money in through an automated transfer for each paycheck you receive. If it's a weekly paycheck, a biweekly, or once a month, whatever it is, get it over into your high yield savings account. If you need to reduce that discretionary spending of the Starbucks, do it. Can you maybe put off buying some new clothes for a little while? Where can you find some money to divert to that emergency fund? So maybe you look at your grocery bill. Are you buying all your food in a box, right? Well, everything you buy in a box is going to be more expensive than if you bought it over at the the vegetables part of the grocery store. It's just that's how it is.
Yeah.
So everything in a box is $5, right? So that's just kind of how it goes. So maybe you spend more money on the edges of the grocery store and not in the middle where all the boxes are.
Sure. Makes sense.
It may help your waistline too.
Yeah, it probably will, right?
It probably will. So what this does is it helps reduce the amount of emergency funds you actually need, and then it lets you build it faster. So it kind of starts to compound that idea of savings. And once you start getting some money into an emergency fund, it's going to feel good, and you're going to want to put more in, and you want to get to that next goal of 3 months of emergency funds. So that starts to look pretty nice. So say your monthly nut is about $4,000. So now you got 3 times 4, that's $12,000 sitting in an emergency fund. That's pretty nice. That starts to make it so you can sleep a little better. Things are a little happier. Maybe you don't have to spend as much money on things to distract you from work and things, and you can just be happy. It gets even easier to get to that 6-month goal of having expenses in a high yield savings account. So now at 6 months, 12, we said 12,000 was 3 months. So that's $24,000 in an emergency fund. That's a really good number. That'll probably pay for all the basics that you'll need over a 6-month period, depending on, of course, on your own situation with mortgages and things like that.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see how it starts to take some momentum of its own. And if you do that automatic investment into that emergency savings, then that's really going to help you get that in there. So now there's a lot of things that you can do with that money. What happens if I get more money than 6 months in there? Well, as it gets bigger, then maybe you start to plan for a way to spend that extra money. Mm-hmm. So it gives you starts to give you financial freedom. And that's what our goal is, so that you feel financially free to have choices and have opportunities. And so if you're laid off, you've got this cushion of money so you can go find the best job, not the job you need, the job you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that can do for you if you have a nest egg. If you don't have an emergency fund, the sooner you start to build one, the better. So you start getting that automatic, even if it's just $10 a week, $20 a week. That all it takes is that one Starbucks trip. Cancel that one Starbucks trip a week, and then take that money and put it into your emergency fund.
Yeah.
Start with something as simple as that, and you will start to create more financial freedom.
And financial freedom is what it's all about. I mean, if you have an emergency fund with 6 months worth of living expenses, or at least bills, able to pay your bills and live off that. Imagine now, I mean, if a great example is federal employees. If you're a federal employee and you've been furloughed and you have that emergency fund, you're like, okay, I can be fine without getting a paycheck for the next few weeks.
My brother-in-law is not furloughed. He still has to go to work, and he's not being paid.
Yikes.
How do they get away with that? I don't know. I've never seen... Every time we've had government shutdowns, if they make you mission essential is what it's called.
And
make you come in, like air traffic controllers, they still pay you.
Interesting.
So mission essential still gets paid normally. So I don't know why they're not paying the mission essential folks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad one. I mean, a lot of people are not too happy about the situation, right? So yeah, that's really, really interesting. Now, before we go today, I know that you set aside some consultations, no charge, no obligation consultation. How can our listeners out there get a hold of you, Chris, to get that set up and maybe get some reports run, make sure they're on the right path to a successful financial future and retirement?
So call us at 719-210-4242. We can sit down with you and kind of give you guidelines on spending plans, emergency funds, and the best ways to start saving for retirement and to create a retirement. So that's our goal when we sit down with people is to have a happy life now and then have a happy life for their future. So we don't ever want to take money away from living, but we also want to make sure we have time for when we're living in retirement too.
Yeah.
So give us a call, 719-210-4242. Check us out at our website, nolanfinancialpartners.com. You can listen to our old radio shows there. You can listen to this radio show once we get it posted up there. So give us a call, 719-210-4242.
All right. Well, hey, great show today, Chris. Fantastic topic. Everybody needs to have an emergency fund, have it set up correctly. And if anyone has questions, pick up the phone, give Chris and Tara a call. And that does it for today's episode of Nolan Financial Radio with our host, Chris McKinney.
Join us soon for another episode of Nolan Financial Radio. Take care, and we'll talk to you again.